You're watching The Mic Check, on every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hello and welcome everybody to this week's Mic Check. Today we have a fun little script that we're just going to go ahead and dive right into. But before we do that, I want to let you all know that on the 5th of this coming month, we're going to be having Danielle Quisenberry with us. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you want a chance to be in on the drawing, make sure to join us on the Mic Check prior to her coming on. So keep your eyes out for that. If you have any questions or anything like that, find us on Facebook. Go ahead and throw us an email. We should have the links in the description below, and we'll be looking forward to having you on. Anyway, our first reader is going to be Richard. Richard, go ahead.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Made with only the freshest ingredients, you'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Dan?
Okay, let me see if I can find this thing. Here we go. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it look like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunch, and dinners. Made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. All right, John Knowles.
All right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Goldie.
My mic working from here?
We hear you.
Okay, cool. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made only with the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Tim.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the finest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. JD.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Leonard.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles,
and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Frank.
Right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and fuzzy place, right? Sorry, I'll start over. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods, natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Who haven't we heard from yet? Devin.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Rob. Yay, nay? David?
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfast, lunches, and dinners, made only with the freshest ingredients. You'll probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Okay, who didn't go? I'm looking at the screen here.
So we have
Mike.
Yeah, I haven't gone. Russ hasn't gone. Oh, you want me to go? Okay.
Okay, Mike. Yes.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Let's see. Jeremy, would you like to try reading?
I'll try.
All right, go for it.
Wait.
Do you need a link to the script?
I'm opening it now.
Okay.
All right, I'll start. If you could create your own restaurant, what would be? Wait, let me start again. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. So we have a few people who haven't gone yet. There's Russ, Joe, and Rob, if his microphone is working.
Yeah, now it's just I didn't have the script. Now.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're there, Rob?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, could you turn your gain up a little bit? It's a little quiet. And if you'd like to, if you're still there, why don't you go ahead and read for us next?
Is that for me? Or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? Natural woods and natural smiles. Plenty of great tasting breakfast, lunches, and dinners made with the only and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right, Rob, we have Joe and Russ who haven't gone yet. So why don't you go ahead and choose one of them to go next?
As John Stafford, have you read?
Oh, and John. John.
Yes, it's those three.
John Stafford.
Joe.
All right.
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm, friendly place, right? Natural woods, natural smiles. Plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread, slow cook your recipes, tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. How about Russ?
Cool, thanks. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made only with the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. And John's left?
That's right, Mr. Stafford.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All righty then. That's everybody, right? I haven't forgotten anybody? Pretty sure that's everybody.
Nope,
Speak
that's it. I got
now
the
or
order put up.
forever hold your peace.
That's everybody, my liege.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, that's what I need. All right, anyway. So, let's talk about the script now. So, what were some things that you all noticed about some of the deliveries? What were some things that stuck out to you as good and bad? Let's hear some of that discussion.
I think some of the deliveries were a little rushed.
Okay.
One thing I noticed is in the specs, it called for a little bit of folksy, and I didn't hear much of that.
Well, I know Joe kind of went for a little bit of folksy, but
Yeah.
his microphone was cutting in and out a little bit there.
Yeah, I didn't hear any, but
Right. We're just pointing Joe out specifically here for that one.
well, far be it from me to call out. Somebody else can call
Come
out, Joe.
over there and show you folksy.
All right, then. I'm ready whenever you are, buddy.
All right.
Hi, guys.
I got no problem with that either.
I'll see you next week.
All right, take it easy, Dan.
You Dan.
Take care, Dan.
On that note,
Okay, so some people were a little bit quick. Not a whole lot of folksy was attempted. Anything else?
Maybe a lack of warmth. Like, wasn't it Elaine Clark who was saying, give yourself a hug to make it more warm and friendly? I think it was her. I'm not sure.
Okay, a lack of warmth. Yeah, I can't remember exactly who said that, but I agree that was definitely something that wasn't as apparent as maybe it should have been with some reads.
And I know when I looked at the spec, I mean, the way it's written with AVO, it struck me as a visual thing with slides. But the slow cook your recipes for, and then tenderness and flavor was sort of a strange pause break. And so I think a lot of us just put for with tenderness and flavor.
And that would make perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, again, I transpose this just as I have seen it. So this is what I looked at on the piece of paper. So, yes,
What? No mistakes
that awkward
tonight?
break right there. No, this time, that spelling error was not my fault.
Yes.
Or that grammatical error, whatever you want to call it. That was not my fault whatsoever.
Well, that suggests this is definitely a visual broken up with images of what you were describing.
Yep.
Okay. So now that we have that decided, that this is likely paired with visuals, what does that mean about our delivery? What should we do differently then?
Yeah, we'll let Shane read.
Yeah, let Shane have a shot at cold read.
All right,
he can
Shane,
take
do you
Dan's
have a
spot.
copy?
Probably not, but I could paste the link again.
Oh, thanks for your help, Gold.
Come back and be somewhat useful. There you go, Shane.
Would you like to give it a read, Shane?
Maybe you couldn't hear us yet.
Shane, come back, Shane.
I just
be
waited for Shane
right
to go there.
Oh, no.
Probably only about half of you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that was a painfully slow movie to watch. I have seen it all the way through, and it's like, is this ever going to get over?
What is it? I've probably seen it and I don't remember.
I think that's just the name of
It's
the movie.
an old Alan Ladd Western. He was a gunfighter who was trying to make a new start for himself in a town, and then these bullies come in, and they're pushing everyone around. Finally, it just gets to the point where he has to stand up to these guys and take them out. And along the way, he makes friends with this little boy, and at the end, he can't stick around. He's got to move on down the line, and the last thing you see is the little boy yelling, "Shane, Shane, come back, Shane! Don't go, Shane!"
To the sunset.
Yep.
Oh, you explained it so well, Frank. Nice job.
Almost like, did you ever see Clint Eastwood, Pale Rider?
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
That's thinking.
Same kind of idea, except so that was a young lady who was yelling for him.
So to Michael's comment, voice under.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Can be
Voice
understated. You're not the star of the show. The visuals are.
Does anyone have any suggestions what folksy is like on a woman's voice? I can hear it on a man's, but what is folksy for a woman?
That's a very good question.
Same thing.
I'm thinking Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Little
Just
rasp.
put a little southern twang on it.
Little tiny bit of southern twang, maybe.
Realized I was muted, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, so Shane gave us the best read in the world, and we didn't hear a bit.
Oh no, there's always somebody who pulls a Richard, and it wasn't me yet.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Shane, go ahead and give us a read.
All right, here we go. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles. And plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches and dinners, sorry. Made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Alrighty.
Okay, now that we officially have everybody who's read, let's get into this, shall we? So this script is doing something really particular that I don't know if we've actually encountered in another script before on the mic check. I don't think we've really broken into a script like this before, but it's using a very, very particular method to get people to pay attention. Is that the right way to put it? It's trying to bring people into the store in a very particular way. Can anybody see the particular thing that this script is trying to do?
It's trying to put you in a place, draw an image of what you would want, and guess what? We got it. We have it. It's called Carol's Kitchen.
Yeah, it's sort of almost like you're walking in the door, and then
But I would love that place. Oh, there is a place? Wow. And it, and then folks see, to me, it's not, because I went through a read like this before. It's like, it's really informal, casual. They read it right off the informal, casual, familiar manner or style, sociable, friendly. And what happened? What they got, the director that I dealt with before says, don't get it confused with country. Because folks sees like, hey, hi. Like almost like Pepperidge Farm, remembers that kind of like friendliness, warmness, the kind of guy that you want to be with. That type of deal. But it paints a picture like, you know what? I want a business like this. Guess what? It's here. We got it. Come check us out.
Okay.
Either that or it's like the Motel 6 read, right?
Right. Yes, that is correct. We'll keep a light on for you.
Well, I love that idea of it, and that's actually what I was getting to. This is leading the listener on. So it's asking a bunch of questions and presenting a bunch of things. Like it's almost presuming what's going on, but in an attempt to try to get people to sort of answer those questions in a particular way. Like you're trying to get a particular response out of somebody with these questions. So, if you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? That's supposed to be really open-ended, getting somebody to think, well, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? Like
a rhetorical read, maybe rhetorical. You're asking a bunch of questions, but you're not expecting an answer. Possibly.
Well, you're asking to get a specific answer. You're trying to lead them to a particular response.
In the person's head, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, probably a warm and friendly place, right? So when you're asking that of the listener, what response are you expecting to get from them?
Yeah, like that. That's what I'm looking for. That type of thing, or people nodding their head going, yeah.
Exactly.
That's the place. Yeah.
Yeah, you want that to be going through somebody's head over and over again. So that's how you should be asking these questions. That first one, if you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? It's too open-ended for that. But the rest of it, the entire rest of it, you were trying to, inadvertently, or not inadvertently, you're trying to sort of in a really sneaky way put the idea into the person's head.
Subliminally,
I don't know. I don't know. You're leading them on. You're basically like
a tease.
Yeah. It's not like, is this something you would do? It's like, this is something you would do. I know it, but I'm just sort of trying to put that into your mind to think about it a little bit.
So could it sound like a dream sequence without sounding sing-songy?
I wouldn't necessarily say it would be like that, but what you want to do is you want somebody who's listening to this to be thinking constantly at the end of it, yeah, that's exactly what I want. Like you want to make sure that you ask the question or state the image in such a way that the individual is like, yeah, you know what? That is something that I'd love to have. That is a place I'd love to go. That is something I'd love to have. I'd love to have delicious breakfast, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. Like that's what you want to start getting in somebody's mind with this kind of, with at least this mechanism of scripts. So the whole goal of this is to find out after the end of every line or phrase, what's the response that you want elicited? Like, what do you want to have the person thinking in their head when they listen to you and when they see the images? That's what you're trying to deliver to. So, of course, there's a little bit of imagination involved here in constructing what this particular scene is going to look like. But it is up to you to try to decide how are you going to ask the questions to get the response you're attempting to elicit, and what response even is that? So we've sort of determined that the response is, yeah, that sounds like something I'd want. So how are we going to ask these questions and pose these particular images in such a way to do that? What is your particular motivation behind doing that?
Could we be, I don't want to say dramatic, but words like, you know, I don't have the script in front of me. Warm, all the words, okay, I don't know what I'm trying to say. No, I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to say it. I don't have the script. I'm sorry. I had it. I wanted to tell you. I know I'm not reading. I'm just putting my 2 cents.
No, that's okay. That's okay. There's a link to the script. It's back up.
You know, like words like natural woods and natural smiles, all the descriptive words. Don't you want the reader to imagine natural woods in some beautiful restaurant? I mean, I can see it with all the windows and natural smiles. Everybody's happy. So very descriptive wording. Instead of sounding like you're doing conversational read, it's got to be more imaginative. I don't know the word. I don't know what I'm saying.
The specs that come to my mind are warm and slow.
Warm and slow. Okay.
Slow, just like you're cooking.
I like that. Okay. So warm, definitely slow it down a bit, right? I could almost see this as like a 60-second spot because of the amount of lines and probably the amount of video they want to put into this.
Right,
Yeah, you probably need to slow it down because you want to give them the time to have that become an image in their mind.
Right.
Like you're visualizing, you know, natural wood finish and, you know, what the place looks like. Now you want them to get that from your words and see the space. And that'll take a second.
A lot of
There'll be a picture on the screen that'll help you, but
sorry, David, go ahead.
A lot of descriptive words here. I think what I learned in the last, I've listened to all your mic checks, the more descriptive of the coaches, the more the words are descriptive, you have to slow down even more. Give the person time for the brain to process that.
Yep.
Because you're bringing them to a place they might want to leave. So if you go natural woods and natural smiles, you're thinking like, wow, I want to go there. So you give a little more time. A lot of they're not what did Larry call them? Micro pauses, they call them. A little more than a micro pause. You have to give the person, if you're describing like the car, you want a beautiful Corinthian leather seats. Then he'll pause. Give the listener a chance, the client, the consumer, a chance to get the words to resonate in their minds.
Well, you're inviting them to a slower pace of life. They probably
That's
had
right.
a hectic life, and you're trying to get them to slow down and enjoy life.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, because of being visual like it is, if you're just reading on through it, and I went through it way too fast, you're going to see natural wood smiles. You probably got natural woods, a fireplace maybe, or stuff burning, and then natural smiles, a picture of somebody smiling. And if you just go with natural woods and natural smiles, it's flip, flip, and you're not getting any images.
No, you're not.
No,
you're definitely not.
She just brought up a great point.
natural
These
smiles,
kinds of restaurants.
breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah, you don't want to go too fast. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
These kind of restaurants do very, very well in New York City because the hustle and bustle of the city. And when you walk in, there's a restaurant like this in White Plains, New York. It's always packed. There's a lot of wood. There's a lot of, it's that country feel. People are coming out of the city and they're like going from 60 to 5 miles per hour. And that's why it's so popular. What's the name of it? I forget the name. It'll come to me.
Caro's.
No, that's Caro's. Anita's Kitchen. No, not Anita's Kitchen. It's it'll come to me. You probably have them in your backyard also, but
maybe
I love going there because I'm used to like going 60 miles an hour at work, and this the pace in the city. When we go there, and the waiters and the waitresses, are so calm and friendly and smooth, and you're like, wow, I'm gonna give them 25%. So it's pretty much that kind of feel.
You talking about Cracker Barrel?
No, it's not Cracker Barrel. Nice Cracker Barrel. I'll think of it.
That's one Cracker Barrel, I guess.
That's the one I couldn't think of either.
What-
the
what
ones
is-
that are always just off the freeway.
They are right there. Yeah, right near
What
the
is
exit.
folksy?
That's
then?
on purpose, by the way.
Yes, every single one of them is that way.
Well, what's folksy?
So maybe a little bit country, a little bit sort of, that. I guess that's supposed to be a call to like that Southern hospitality kind of feel.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily have to be that accent. It has to be that feel, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Welcoming feel.
The I've been inviting you into my home thing as opposed to, yes, this is a restaurant and you can come down and we have great deals kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So this is totally focused on inviting somebody into the atmosphere of the place, right? Into the sights, the smells, and the feeling you're going to get when you walk through the door. So that's something that you want to embody. When you're talking about this particular restaurant, when you're going through the script, when you're reading each line, when you're asking each question, you should be asking yourself to some degree, how am I making somebody feel invited?
Yeah, on that note, too, somebody somewhere once said that when you have words like welcome, you should always be very welcoming in how you say them. And a lot of the reads here in the first go-around, because it was first go-around, were pretty much just breezed through it. Welcome to our restaurant. Welcome to our restaurant.
Welcome to our restaurant. Yeah, just make it as warm, friendly, open, and inviting as possible. One thing you may want to do is, if you want to take a little bit of time right now, and you can do a little bit of editing to your script, make sure to write down after the line, after where you think it'd be appropriate, the lines and the questions and things like that, where you'd want people to, or what kind of response you want people to get from these reads. Like actually physically write them down so you have a goal in mind as to where you're going. That might be a good way to sort of get your mind into the mindset of, I want to invite people into this. I want this to seem very, calming and welcoming. Just make sure that you have a goal in mind as to what you want your listener to feel. Because that should help define what your character is and what your approach to this is. That's actually something that I wanted to get into next. Who are we in the context of this particular script? What kind of role do we take on? What is our character?
We created this restaurant, or we're
like the genie. We can create it for you. Tell us what you want, and we will grant your wish.
I saw us as the voice in the back of your mind.
Okay. Well, I actually, my personal view on this aligns a little bit more with Frank. I feel that this is almost like a, what kind of thing are you really envisioning? Like, are you seeing this in your mind? Because the stronger you see it in your mind, the more I can make it happen for you. Just keep listening, keep following along. You're sort of leading them along. You are that almost omnipotent genie character being, basically telling the listener, I can grant your wish.
I was thinking more along the lines of I'm a cop and I'm talking to a perp.
You know what? If you can pull that off and still make it fit, I'm all for that. I am all for that.
Go for it, Joe.
I was trying to get him to answer.
Yeah.
You have a right to enjoy some food.
Sorry, Richard, go ahead. What were we going to say?
I was looking at it as like someone who's trying to lead a friend on that, hey, you've been there and wow, this is the place and you really need to go there because this is exactly what you've been looking for. I don't know.
Well, that works. That works too. Yeah. Again, I just said what my personal opinion of it sort of aligns with, but however, whatever will help you get into the mindset of you're trying to invite somebody out of their crazy, ridiculous, super fast life and into.
You could create your own restaurant. Place not of
If you could
mine.
create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right?
That would Rod Serling read. That would be awesome. Oh, that does work.
With natural woods and natural smiles.
And meat pies.
Don't ask us where we source them from. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so I think we got a pretty good idea. Does anybody have any other comments or questions about the script that they'd like to bring up before we get back into the reads?
Well, what's the consensus? Is this 30 seconds or 60 seconds?
Let's go with a 60-second.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you can get the images out and the text in 30. It's just not going to happen.
I agree, but then that speaks to how long your pauses need to be. Like with the woods and the smiles, give it a couple extra seconds because there's a scene there showing the inside of a restaurant, and there's another scene of happy little family eating, all smiling faces. So there's a list in there: breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Do we treat that like a list? Some people did, some people didn't. Do you get the ABC treatment, or we just read it flat? Because I could go either way.
I would say whatever makes it sound the most inviting. Because I mean, somebody, it's. I think that part right there is going to be up to personal interpretation.
Okay.
Because some people can make the ABC sound really welcoming and warm, and some people can make the flat and just direct sound really welcoming and warm. It's just whatever you feel most comfortable with, go for that.
There's going to be 3 different scenes. There's going to show a breakfast. They're going to show a lunch. They're going to show a dinner, and after that, they're going to probably show somebody cooking something.
Like Anna said, point to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could also be that maybe all of it is on one table at once. Like they just have a smorgasbord of different dishes, and you see just a bunch of different plates. So you might be
for dinner again.
Hey man, you ever heard of a restaurant called Bruxy?
Nope.
Yeah, probably not. It's probably not too common, but everything is served on waffles, and it's amazing.
Nice. Yeah. Oh.
Nice.
But anyway,
Hey,
so
Michael, did you not want to talk about like which words to bring out, like we used to, or?
So again, I've been sort of looking at our process and taking into account a lot of the things that we've learned from the coaches that we've had on, and it seems like one of the common threads is that it's not necessarily about the specific words. It's about your intention and where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think this time I'd like to try that. I'd like to try focusing a little bit more on who we are and why we're saying what we're saying. And we'll see how that works out. This is a little bit of an experiment on my end too. I'm still trying stuff out here.
Okay.
So today we're not going to focus on specific words. I will go ahead and leave that up to you. But we will go ahead and talk about who we are and why we're saying what we're saying. Let's see if that maybe changes the approach a little bit. So when it comes to the feedback portion of this, let's go ahead and focus. Did they hit that same that feeling, that intention? That's mostly what we're going to be talking about here. Is, did you feel welcomed? I know that's sort of really subjective, but hey, guess what? That's all of most arts. It's just subjective anyway. So
that's true.
We'll go with it.
Okay.
And also, it's going to look really, really silly, but may I suggest everybody close your eyes when someone's reading. See if you get that mental picture, if they paint it for you.
Let's give that a go too.
Or not. Whatever.
They have to throw it up there.
No. That's
shut
not
up.
a bad idea. That is not a bad idea whatsoever.
They have to be really good.
Well, anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? Richard, go ahead and take it away.
All right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
I like the tone, but I'd pick up the pace just a little.
So it was too slow then. Okay, I slowed it down intentionally, so it was just a bit too slow. Okay.
Just a tad, yeah, just a tad.
I'm picking up a little bit of overacting
Yeah, that was
Like that one line that you had there, you said, probably a warm and friendly place, right?
What? But
To
I'm
me,
not
it came,
what are you talking about?
Warm and friendly.
What?
To me, it came across a little bit like you were talking to somebody who's a little slow themselves on the uptake. So watch out for that.
If it was done too slow, it's gonna, yeah. Okay. I tried to slow it down for the images. I'll pick it up just a bit. And I'll stop overacting. I won't do it anymore. I shan't.
Please don't,
Do
darling.
you have
We're doing it right now.
Do you have someone in mind who you're talking to?
Yes, I did. So,
Who?
Cool. Great. Oh,
Who were you talking to?
no one here. In fact, it's a dear friend who just got his hair dyed purple, and he's my age.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'd love it.
Is he a liberal?
No. he's his own person.
that sounds awesome.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead, try it again, and go for a second read. Try it again.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody think of that one?
I thought the second half was excellent, but maybe it's me. Maybe I'm high.
The second half.
Very nice.
I like it.
It felt a little fast to me this time.
Well, people,
So, no pleasing everybody.
I think my only like nitpicky thing about it was you had the same emphasis or the same tonal progression on natural woods and natural smiles. You started up high and then ended low on both of those. I was thinking if you were going to do that, just do the opposite. So if you start up high with natural woods, start down low with natural smiles.
Okay.
So instead of, because what you did was with natural woods and natural smiles.
Nope.
It was the same thing, both sides.
Captain Kirkish.
And you really want the natural woods. Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and, whatever you do for one, do the opposite for the other. With natural woods and natural smiles,
In my mind, natural woods is important. Natural smiles is kind of a joke. So it'd be like a little faster, I think.
The natural wood, I looked at the natural smiles as they were enjoying their meal,
Yeah.
is what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
So
but call it a
I'm thinking,
natural.
I'm thinking more like the servers at that point when it comes to natural
Oh,
smiles.
Okay. I hadn't thought of it that way.
I'm thinking, the servers are friendly and happy to be there, and it's like, let's
I
all
like that
get
take better.
today.
I was just thinking calling smiles natural is a little tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. I mean, not completely, but you don't really call smiles natural.
Sure you
Well,
do.
if you look at it from Frank's point of view, the servers having natural smiles as opposed to, hi, welcome to Carol's, we're going to take care of you, is different from, hi, welcome to Carol's, we're going to take care of you today. What can I get you? That's a natural smile as opposed to, yeah, I'm waitressing today. What do you want?
It's still kind of an odd thing to bring out, though.
Yeah, just
The pair of the two.
Trustworthy.
We don't have plastic people here.
I am. No, I'm not. No, I'm
She's
not.
high. She's high.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm high.
Joe, was the pacing better since you thought it was overly slow? Was that better this time?
Yeah, I thought the pace was good. The only thing that really jumped out at me was the welcome at the end.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, welcome to your new restaurant.
Hey, how you
Don't
doing?
scare
Nice
the
to see you. What do you want? A buggy? You want some fish and chips? What do you want? Whatever you need.
Okay, so I've got the pacing was pretty close to being good, so that part was all right. Don't emphasize welcome to your new restaurant. Come on down. Don't emphasize that. Let's see, what else did you have? I need to go either down on Natural Woods and up on Natural Smiles, or the opposite of that,
Yeah.
so that they're not the same. Anything else that I missed? Let's see if I can remember it all. Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfast, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
I like that.
Did I hit them all? I don't know. I wasn't listening to me. I don't know.
I liked it.
That was nice. That was good.
I like that. I think you hit only a little bit instead of freshest.
Ah, I didn't hit freshest?
Otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. Other than that,
Polite golf claps for Richard.
it was minor. He didn't hit it like
Polite.
crazy, but
What? This group has polite? Yeah, so if the only was a little hard, it would be made with only the freshest ingredients. Is that better?
Yeah.
We'll splice it in. You're good, darling.
There we go. Yep.
Your natural smile's got a little too smiley or something. And natural smile.
So sorry.
It sounded weird. I don't know.
You don't like that line anyway. You don't get to say anything about that line. You don't like it anyhow.
I don't get it.
Anything else? All right, we're going to move over to Shane then. Am I good? Thanks, folks. I appreciate all the directions. That helps a lot.
All right, moving over to Shane. Shane, go for it.
All right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody think?
Little fast.
Mm-hmm. I thought the same thing, a little fast.
I didn't get a warm and fuzzy feeling, and I don't know how to get
I know I hit the word "your" a little too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little fast and also a little staccato to me. So I think it helps with a warmth if you connect all the words together instead of chopping them up.
More legato if you do the music thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so legato versus staccato. Yeah, you pointed it out, which you're not supposed to do. Though Dan's not here, the Dan rule is active. You did hit your too hard.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, well, there you go. It's the curse of the Dan spot, I suppose. You get really, really self-conscious. So yeah, in that second to last line, new is the operative word there. New needs a little bit more than your. As soon as you hit your, you start going into salesy. Welcome to your new restaurant. Welcome to your new restaurant. So, watch where you put the emphasis.
I don't know about that because the whole thing's building up to your
new restaurant.
Your new restaurant.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of connect at the first line. If you could create your own restaurant, that's the word that I think probably needs to be hit a little bit there, and then there at the bottom, welcome to your new restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though.
Drop the your. I mean, not drop it entirely, but kind of de-emphasize the your on both of those.
What if you gave it like welcome to your new restaurant?
Yeah, I
sounds
like
good.
it. That's
I think yours has to
it's
be
yours and it's new, and I think they're both equal. I like that.
Yeah, that was the thought that was coming to my
Yeah,
mind
no,
too.
that's
Just
good.
do a 1, 2, 3 thing on it.
All right,
All
that's
right.
the direction again.
I will hit it again.
I got to.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It all sounded good. You varied the pacing and everything. The only thing I had was bake your own bread sounded like out of place, kind of weird.
It was a question. You'd probably bake your own bread.
It was a
But
little
maybe
faster.
I would. I
I
don't
think that worked.
You'd probably
No, but
bake your own bread.
We also have to remember that we're all reading as a character,
Yeah.
right? And so we got to be careful. Nitpicking too much. We should focus more on the character of the read.
The feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, like who were you just now? Who were you talking to? You know, yeah, we can't sound
And
like
what
we're
works for one might not work for
What is it?
another.
well,
Who
right.
are we? Where are we? And who are we talking to, right?
Personalities. We all have
Yeah.
different personalities.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
Who are
Yeah,
we? Where are we? Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's a given, but I think it should be talked about more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. I really like the read.
But
And
if you
it's
hear something
a
just
question.
stand out like a sore thumb,
Oh, no, of course. Oh, no, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
No, we still need that. Yes.
okay.
No, of course.
Other than that, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. So what does everybody think? One more take or not?
Hey,
Yeah.
Shane, one thing that occurred to me is some of that's been missing from some of the reads is I think the key question in this whole thing is what would it be like? And I haven't heard really a lot of like sincerity in that question in a lot of the
Yeah,
reads.
that has kind of been almost glossed over, right?
Yeah, I keep hearing, what would it be like? As if it was more of a statement instead of a friend asking, well, what's your opinion? And it doesn't seem like it's going to get people's imagination going. If it sounds more like a rhetorical question. Oh, what would it be like? What would it be like? Like, I want to hear from you. What would it be like? And, the wheels start turning at that point,
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
What if you gave it like, if you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like?
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No, not wrong. You could put, the emphasis on would. You could also put the emphasis a little bit more on be. What would it be like?
Yeah.
You know?
Just needs to be a question.
Well,
That would-
I think
That would help it stand out more.
I think what we're generally trying to get at is that is more of the operative part of that's the introduction for the rest of the script is what would it be like that's where you lead into all of these leading questions and phrases and whatnot. So I think in general, yeah, what would it be like? However you want to emphasize that a little bit more, that section needs a little bit more emphasis, because then it would make more sense to start asking them about the atmosphere of the restaurant, which is basically what we're talking about.
Yeah,
And the experience someone would have when going in. So yeah, focus a little bit more on the character. And I think that welcome to your new restaurant is a little bit more of like a double entendre there. It's like, yeah, sure, that's probably what it would be like, but you want to come here. This is going to be your new favorite spot. It's a little tongue in cheek. So go ahead, give it another go.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness, flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody think of the feel of that one?
It felt smooth, welcoming, warm.
I like the last one better.
And fuzzy.
I like this one better. I thought it was far more. It felt warmer. It felt like, hey, you're going to just so love this. I felt it was a lot warmer than the other two.
I would shortlist it.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Yeah,
I like
good
it too.
emphasis on slow cooking. That was a different take.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really popped. That was good.
Yeah, that's a word that you can really draw out if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, slow.
Slow cooking, whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely the best one.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think we're good to move on, huh? Goldie.
Yeah.
You're up next.
John's next.
John Knowles is not here.
Oh, John is gone.
Oh,
Okay,
he
yeah.
left. I didn't see him depart.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm next. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles. And plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Made only with the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody think of that one?
Beat it up.
Energy seemed a
It
little
was, I
low.
almost fell asleep. I thought the tone was okay, but it was
Yeah.
Just
It was almost like a little fairy tale-ish.
Okay.
There were
I was a
moments
little
when I
scared,
kind of felt like
actually.
it might have ventured into like 1-900 operator territory too.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
a little scared during the read. It just came across a tad creepy because of the pace.
Okay. A little faster.
Okay. Creepy. That's a first.
And yoga instructorish too.
Okay. A creepy.
Creepy yoga instructor.
No, not
Yoga
It's
Creepy. So we're going for warm and inviting and ended up with creepy yoga instructor. All right.
Is that not what
Okay.
the spec said? That's what I thought.
Wow. What? The spec
Warm
says
and
creepy
fuzzy
yoga
yoga
instructor? Where? I
instructor.
missed that part.
No. Remember, at least for Joe, it probably reads creepy yoga instructor. Also, a subline is a cop talking to a perp.
Well, it's Joe, so you got to consider,
What will he think of next?
I know, right? Alrighty then. Well, why don't we go ahead and give it another go, Goldie?
Let's give it another go. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made only with the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody think of that one?
I think they're right. Right. It kind of went up too quick. It should be more right. Not
okay.
Right.
Yeah, you went really high there on the
Yeah.
Okay.
on the right.
It sounds almost
Place.
scary.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the
Yeah.
rest of the read?
One note on both of your reads, you had made only with the freshest ingredients instead of made with only the freshest ingredients. That may make a difference.
Good call.
I mean, if I were editing it, I wouldn't have too much of a problem with it, but that's just me. But yeah, no, that's definitely something to keep into account. Just
Yeah.
in case, be careful of
I
that.
want you to try and say the right words.
Yes. But yeah, I think the only thing that stuck out to me too was just what David, just what Dave said. It's that right is a little bit too snappy. It kind of breaks you out of the
I
emotional
was
range
still
you're in.
feeling a little weird about my weird yoga instructor.
No, so that's sort of like that's almost like when you're talking to someone, that's kind of like, you can see that they're physically getting excited. When you explain something to somebody and you're going for that sort of like, right, that you're goading that on a little bit.
Time I did that better. I realized I felt that was weird too. So
Okay, well this time it won't be weird.
this time it won't be weird. So slower. That was an okay pace.
I think the pace was all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally, there were just a few places that sort of broke you out of that field that you were in. The first place is that right, and that second place is because great meals begin in the kitchen, and that one is and I've noticed this that we don't seem to have a good grasp of what to do with that specifically. And I think the operative part in there is great meals, because great meals begin in the kitchen, or I guess begin, but
I just was tying the kitchen to Caro's kitchen. But
yeah, well, you don't want to emphasize kitchen twice, because that sounds really awkward.
Okay.
Caro's kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Like I'm doing it like this, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay.
That's
I
my
did
take
like
on it.
that when I heard that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
All meals are made
Yeah,
in kitchens. That's why the word "great's" important.
Yeah. If you're getting a meal that wasn't made in the kitchen,
And then we agreed to slow it down on what would it be like, or do something with it. It seems like you're just going, what would it be like?
yeah, what would it be like? Again, that is the operative part of that first line.
Trying to not go too slow there.
Try to vary the pace maybe and stretch some words, and so it's not all one note.
Yep.
This can almost, reading this could almost be like a sales pitch for a franchise. Someone sit down and tell you about this, and you know what? You can buy this restaurant for $2 grand. It's almost like a sell. It is a sell. It's a sell.
Okay.
All right, give it another go. Let's hear it.
All right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
That was your best read yet.
That was the best one. Yeah.
Yep.
I like that one.
Light golf clap.
It was good. You hit only instead of freshest. For sure. We're not supposed to hit the only, right?
Well, maybe not only. You can only the freshest if you pair it with freshest.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess only is the optional one. Freshest definitely is the one. But again, I agree with most of the consensus here that was definitely your best read so far.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, my other little concern would be to end in the kitchen at the very end there with a down note.
Okay.
Because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay.
Because you just, you kind of want to drive that home.
Yep.
But other than that, I think in general, that last read was absolutely fantastic. If you could just tweak those two things, you got it.
Okay, you want me to read those 2 lines just for pickups?
Please.
Made with only the freshest ingredients. Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
There you go. We'd cut those in. That'd be good.
Go.
All right. Tough crowd. Everybody's really quiet today. All right, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Let's get some noise going. Let's hear a read.
You will read it right, or else we have plans for you.
Right. Marty Johnson, rest in peace.
Yes.
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody think of that?
I thought the tone was exactly the way I heard it in my head when I first cold read it. There were a couple of words that you may have hit a little too hard.
Yeah, I did only.
Other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I heard some pronouns there.
Yeah, your restaurant.
If you could create your own restaurant, and welcome to your new restaurant.
Oh my, okay.
But you had a really good warm feel to it, Tim.
Yeah.
It was what they were looking for. Just a couple little tweaks there with hitting some things, just keeping in and varying your pace a little. And I thought the tone that you were doing was terrific.
Short list.
Yeah, I think usually you go for warm and sometimes it sounds a little pushed, but this time I think you're hitting it more. So I think you're being able to tone it down and get that just right.
Okay. It was a very good read, just with a couple little tweaks. Very, very nice, Tim.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked it, except for the couple of pronouns there.
Okay. And in my head, how I started it, in my head, I said, well, I've got a question for you, friend. In my head.
There you go. No,
that's yeah.
That's what I was going to do out loud, but I said I just did it in my head.
Good.
Well, go ahead and start out loud this time.
That's a skill in itself.
Yeah, I'm going to step away for just a quick second, but go ahead. Give us another read.
All right. Let me ask you a question. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
That's really good.
Very nice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you.
I love that.
All speedy this time.
Yeah, it felt a little fast, but
just a little
good overall.
I think I hit the only again, did I not?
I didn't notice it being smacked.
Oh, Rush, you didn't notice it because Rush usually knows that kind of stuff, and I know.
No, I didn't notice it. But what you did do is, I think at the end we've kind of missed this. The product or whatever it is called Caro's Kitchen.
Right.
It's because great meals begin in the kitchen. So you're kind of connecting those two kitchens, and I think you did that, and nobody else has really done that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Next is going to be Leonard.
You have a great sound for this.
Oh, thanks.
Throat, your voice.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Leonard.
Okay, JD isn't here anymore. Oh yeah, he
No.
left.
His hip couldn't
Yeah,
be
he
run.
was.
Okay.
His hip was
Yeah, that's
bothering
right.
him and he had to go.
I saw that.
My
Okay,
hip, why I oughta.
there goes. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipe. Backtrack. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Anyone?
Just a minute.
Just digesting right now.
Yeah.
I like the pace.
The pace was good.
It seemed a little pushed to me.
Yeah,
was like,
maybe
tighten
that's what
your
gave it that creepy feel. I don't know what else. It was like, what are you cooking in that kitchen? It's like, I don't want to
Meat
go
pies.
there. No, I don't want to.
Creepy here. Ah,
Little rat's feet and little.
you roaching in on my creepy.
Yeah, Leonard, you're still creepy.
I may be wrong.
Joe, we can't hear you, buddy. You got to turn your mic up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I clearly heard yoga instructor.
Only a male yoga instructor this time.
I may be wrong, but maybe there were too many micro pauses.
Might have been.
Like
Leonard, it
Maybe
seemed
that's
like
what it was. There were something.
was too
Yeah,
tight for you.
whatever you're doing was causing it. Your your tone was good, but then that's probably what it was. A good point, David, was the pauses made it like, you know.
I was waiting like, and okay, and
yeah,
and when the other gentleman, I forgot, it was more like, it had more like a rhythm. It was like boom, boom. Yours is like
Okay.
boom, boom.
Yeah, I
It
was
was
kind of
more
giving
rhythmic.
it time for the visuals to cycle, but I can certainly speed
Yeah.
it up.
If you just bring it up maybe 25%, a little more, and a little more smooth, hit your words, and the other words just let them flow. If that makes sense. I'm just
Well,
trying to pick up what I've been learning the last few weeks here.
Yeah, I was pausing for the visuals too, and that apparently isn't the way we want to do it.
No. They will edit the pauses in.
Mhm.
You do your read. They will edit in the breaks where they need them.
Okay.
Okay. Take
So
two.
I'm giving you permission to perform it. Just perform it. They will take care
Okay.
of all the technical stuff.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. What did everybody think of that?
big improvement. I like that a lot better.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, like that one there.
I
That
thought it
warmed it up a
was
bunch.
staccato a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't feel like I was going to be in the pot in the kitchen this time.
Nah, you'd be a little old and stringy.
It would be a little tough.
Hey, Michael, I was
Yeah.
mentioning while you were gone that I believe Caro's Kitchen, the kitchen word in Caro's Kitchen is connected with the other kitchen, because you're saying that's the name of it, and it begins in the kitchen. So kitchen and kitchen should feel connected, I think.
Yeah, they should, but I don't think they should both be emphasized.
Yeah, because I did that and got a critique on that and then took that out.
I didn't emphasize it that much.
Yeah, not necessarily by emphasizing, but just somehow with the tone.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. You're right. It is a callback to that. So, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
There you go.
You can go ahead and slow down kitchen a little bit. I don't know, give it that micro pause or something. But yeah, you're right. There should be some connection there, some callback to it, but it definitely shouldn't be emphasized too hard.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
feel that on that read. So
Okay. So there was no emphasis, no connection with Caro's
I think,
Kitchen.
I think if the word "our" was there instead of "the," that would make more sense, because great meals begin in our kitchen. If the word "our" was there, I would see the nexus between Carol's Kitchen and the kitchen in the last word. If it was "our," because it is saying "the," it's being more specific, I believe.
And Leonard, I believe you slow down that last line, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Yeah, right. Maybe hey, listen, nice, very nice. Sounds nice.
Okay.
Give it a go.
One more? Okay.
Yes, we're hungry. Come on.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody
Just a
think of that
little
one?
Slower at the end again, Leonard.
Sorry?
That last line again.
And
Yeah.
tenderness and flavor was really fast.
It's like you sped up after slow cook recipe, just a little bit too fast.
Okay.
That's what
So-
I heard.
But you're getting there.
I think you got it after you get those lines done. You'll be good.
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
ahead
so
and pick
we
it up from you'd probably bake your own bread. Let's go from there to the end.
There you go.
You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Or if you prefer, great meals begin in the kitchen.
I think that's the better one.
Yeah, the second one I really
Second
like.
one, yeah.
I think you did tenderness and flavor right. I think it's tenderness and flavor. I mean, not that much, but that's kind of how it's supposed to go. I think it kind of builds from tenderness to flavor.
Okay.
Yep.
I think
Your
you-
recipes for tenderness and flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, moving right along because we're starting to hit the, getting a little close on time. So, Frank, you're up.
Me.
Oh, sorry.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. What did everybody think of that?
Kind of drug out your bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes. Sounded kind of odd to me.
I like that. I did like that because they're your recipes. Sort of mama's recipes. I mean, I did like that way he brought that out.
Well, I could see in a vacuum where that would work, but in context, slow cook is a little bit more important.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree.
So while I see where you're coming from there, yeah, let's go ahead and move the emphasis to slow cook. Slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor.
I also think you got more into it after the first two lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely warmed up. I think you're right, Russ. The only thing I know toward the end, welcome to your new restaurant. Instead of, I like the your and the new that we talked about earlier. I think those go together. Welcome to your new restaurant. Welcome to your new restaurant. I don't know.
And those last lines didn't feel too warm and inviting with the welcome to your new restaurant in Caro's Kitchen. Could have felt more like, oh, come on down, welcome. Just on those two.
Yeah, it's real nitpicky, but yeah, it's just a couple little things.
But hey, that's what we're here for.
Right.
Nitpick away. Okay. Shall I do it again?
Please, sir.
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
I thought that was excellent.
Checks in the mail, Frank. Thanks.
I love the way you hit cook in slow cook.
Yes.
For some reason, that really works.
And slow.
And it even had a little yoga instructor to it too.
Slow cook your yoga instructor.
Or slow cook your yogurt.
Not yoga, clearly.
Well, fantastic job. Moving right along. Devin, you're up.
All right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles. And plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right.
I kind of like that.
Sounds
The
like
only
Dolly
thing that
Parton.
I would is the second line there.
Yeah,
Because
you're
you went
right.
probably a warm and friendly place, right? Like
Yeah.
there wasn't the little bit of a pause, like probably a warm and friendly place, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a question. It was just
a-
another word at
yeah,
the
it
end.
was just another word there, exactly.
Yeah, and you don't do that in the South.
Oh,
And
like
I-
you would
I-
know
I-
just because
I-
you're there.
I didn't mind also too where you went and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. You threw that little in there. It's like, "Ooh-wee, come on down, y'all. We got the best biscuits and gravy y'all ever gonna taste."
Oh, it's very inviting. I did like that, but yeah, that second line was.
Yeah, you just need that little pause between friendly place, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
It wasn't a question at that point.
We want to hear it again anyway.
Yeah, go get 'em, Dolly. Go get him, Dolly.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it again.
Great job.
All right then. All righty, right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles. And plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay, what did everybody think of that one?
I liked your first read better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caro's Kitchen sound like a question.
Right.
Yeah, your first read was better.
You threw in two
Right. I think the
and
needs to be at
you know
every
that's
meal.
that's one too many. Yeah.
Only one.
It's one
per
per
meal.
session.
Yeah, you're limited to only one per read.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's the Frank rule.
yeah.
The Frank rule.
Well, and you know what? I like in the first version you did. I liked where you threw it in because plenty of great tasting breakfast, like your yummy breakfast. This time you threw it in probably a warm and friendly place.
Yeah.
You know, it sounded like I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it didn't work this time.
It was a
worked the time
check.
before where you did it, but where you moved it to was the wrong address.
Your slow cook was really good. I really like it.
Yes. Yeah. The way you
Like the Carol's Kitchen, like it questioned us.
Yeah.
Janet, you're high and you probably got the munchies. What do you think?
What do you think? You're ready to eat. She's just starting to foam off her walls.
What is up with you, Jay?
I am not high.
Well, you said you were.
I am not.
You know, it's legal now in Illinois.
Really? We're going to believe that? Really?
Yes, it is.
It's for medical purposes.
No, I
Jan's
thought-
gonna come back in a second with a big bag of chips, just be stuffing them.
No,
Cheetos and Doritos.
Bunch of Twinkies.
no, I'm not.
Did I show up for the bike check last week?
But you know what I learned. This is just for improv. This is not for voiceover.
Okay, that.
When we were on the stage and we were doing improvs, Del Close, if we dare did a southern accent, oh my God, did he get pissed off? But he got mad because it's an easy way out, he said. But in this situation, in voiceover, it's done, I guess, a lot. Because I always notice it a lot in this group anyway. So I don't know the rule of thumb on that, but I would love to hear Devin do it without an accent. I really would. I guess I am, Devin.
Thus saith our award-winning voice actress.
She has spoken.
I don't mean anything
Let it be
by
said.
that.
Let it be written. Let it be done.
That's right.
We all do it.
Well, she's famous now. You know, she's got like her dealer on speed
She's
dial.
got to crack the word.
She got street cred. She got street cred.
No, I work hard. I work hard.
Thanks for being here, Janet. We're having a lot of fun.
All right. Well, Devin, why don't you go ahead and give us another read?
As Devin.
All right, sure. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles. and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Much
That
much
was-
better. That was
That one was
fantastic.
Very warm and inviting, and but I
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
What are you talking about? Don't make it quiet. Come on.
I would give you a standing ovation, but I don't have room to stand up in here at the moment.
All right. Well,
There you go.
You stand up. You don't want me standing up.
that was great all the way through.
Yeah. It was
all
really,
right.
really nice.
Thank you. Next.
David, you're up next.
If you can create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You probably break your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. I think your New York is showing a little bit because you went real quick.
Oh, you sure did.
You
That
started
was-
out
that
with
was
a
real
deep
quick.
and then as it went on,
You
the
just kept
train
on going,
started
man, like
chugging
a
down the
burn
track.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go a little slow.
And whatever you do, don't break your own bread.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got to break.
Bake your own bread. All right, here we go.
And there was a huge pause after recipes and before pour.
Right. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'll probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because the great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. What did everybody think of that one?
You gotta slow down, buddy.
Still too fast.
Oh yeah.
It's almost I can if I put a little bit of a not a southern midwestern, change it up a little bit,
Whatever
maybe
you
I
need
can
to do.
Yeah, do what you got to
I didn't
do.
understand some of the words either.
Yeah.
Like freshest sounded almost like French.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I kind of swallowed that word.
I believe what happens when you get to a list, you just start to speed up.
Right.
And you got to honor that comma after the word place and before
Yes,
right.
that was exactly what I was going to say too. Is between place and right, is you want a warm and friendly place, right? It's like, what are you even wasting your time asking for?
Right.
You're talking
But
to
if,
me.
yeah, and if you could try to be more descriptive with the words, you know, flavor, wood, you know what I mean? Certain words need some
That would
emphasis.
slow you down a little bit too.
That was the New York way of doing it. Probably a warm and friendly place, right?
New York minute. Right there.
Yeah, you better come here, right?
Guys
Get
got
it,
it,
right?
right? Huh?
We're gonna kick your ass, right?
That's right.
You're going to
Yeah.
like this or else, okay?
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, I'd also say on the both times you did with natural woods and natural smiles, with no room for anyone to edit a pause in there, and they're probably going to want some room to change imagery or whatever.
Okay. If you can create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. What did everybody think of that one?
It was definitely better.
Much better, yeah.
Much better.
It's almost like if I can go, if you can create your own restaurant, what would it be like?
Do it.
Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural flavors. You know, it's sort of that kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes,
Right.
you still didn't honor the comma after place, but when you said it just now, you did.
Okay, let me get
So-
it.
But it
If you
sounded
do-
like,
if you-
it sounded
if you
like
can-
restaurants had a lot of syllables to it.
Right. If you can create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'll probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay.
I lost it. It was too mixed up.
Yeah, that's okay. That didn't seem like it was a very natural read for you, and that might take some time to work on, anyway. So
Right. And I'm working on my accent reduction.
you know, I personally have heard I've heard it both ways. One, like you don't want an accent. The other is that it can also be something you can bank on. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's your
Coast.
accent so much.
I don't think it's the accent at all. No, the first read that you did, I liked the pacing, and I thought the accent made it folksy, even if it was New York folksy.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right. This read's just a stretch for you. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it just needs to be a little slower, and you started out trying to be slow, and then as the read went on, it's like chugga.
Right. I was trying to get
and it kept rolling down the track.
What I was doing.
Nice slow restaurant you like to go to all the way through the read.
Right. If I can
David,
one
what
more
I was
time, that'd be
what I've
great.
been doing now.
Can I get one more in?
Yeah, hang
Sure.
on, David.
If you can create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
That was actually your best read so far?
Yep, that was your best read. That's just what I was going to say. That was.
Hey,
you
David.
finally you started to speed up, and then you slowed yourself back down again. So excellent, nice job.
All right, Tim, what did you want to say?
Remember, I was reading so fast all the time, correct? And how I've slowed myself. Well, everybody knows in the group I used to read speedy. What I did is I just read each sentence and then paused. That's what I'm doing in my scripts now. I'm reading them for auditions that way, reading the first line and pausing, and then I edit it together.
Good tip.
And it works out really nice that way. And this script is actually broken up that way. That's just an idea.
Okay.
Excellent job on slowing yourself down. That was it had a much more warm feel to the read as well.
Okay, thank you.
All
That
right.
was really good. I liked it too.
I'll try to go real fast.
I might.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfast, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
I love how we're so silent.
You got to process it. You have to process it.
Either it means it's great or it means it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
Right.
one or the other.
One or the other.
Oh,
I think it's more towards the great than the terrible this time.
Yeah, really.
That's a pretty good job.
Good.
I don't have a whole lot in it. It was warm. It was inviting. I could see the images when you were saying them. So.
Good pace. Good pace.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Moving on.
Wow, when you say quick, you want done. I'm out. Next.
Well, I don't know. Unless somebody has something they want to
I
say.
don't have
We're kind of running short on time.
Nothing for you, bud. That was excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was a real good read. Thanks.
Sorry, Mike.
I'm sorry to rob you all of that. All right, Jeremy, you're up next.
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'll probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. Well, I think the pacing there was actually really, really good. Like you read it really nice and like there wasn't any weird breaks in it or anything like that. So it was a really good, solid pace all throughout.
Wow.
The warm, friendly place, comma, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just to,
And don't run out of steam at the end. You kind of ran out of steam on because great meals begin in the kitchen. You need to carry that all the way through.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, give us another read.
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot more. You didn't run out of steam that quickly at the end of it. That does take a little bit of practice, though. So, my suggestion would be just keep practicing reading aloud to yourself. That's honestly one of the main things that I still even have to do sometimes.
Because great meals begin in the kitchen. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Everett Oliver told me, put your arms up when you're reading and fill your air with your lungs with air.
Yep.
Yeah, just put your arms up and I don't know if you're standing or sitting, but I'm standing sitting, which is the worst thing. You should be standing.
Okay, we'll stand up this time.
Yeah, put your arms up.
All right. Okay. Want me to read again?
Actually, let's go ahead and move on because we're really cutting it close.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. I don't want to have to cut you off, but we are really cutting it close. Rob, why don't you go ahead and give us our next read?
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods, natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant. Great meals begin in the kitchen.
Okay. A couple things. Tenderness and flavor, you hit "and" too hard. You hit tenderness and flavor. For tenderness and flavor. Let's put the emphasis on the two surrounding words for that. Also, kitchen had the same emphasis both times. So, we want to try to stay away from that because it sounds really awkward to the listener. So Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Like it's not so much of a, you want to give it the emphasis with a pause, not necessarily with a punch. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to say? Anything else they noticed?
I couldn't hear the end of it. He's turned down slow. I barely could hear what he was saying. I kind of lost him, but the hitting the hard "and", he smacked "and" around pretty hard. But that's the rest of it. The pace, it came across nice and warm. All that was dandy. Just don't beat up poor little "and". It didn't do anything to you. And if you can either get closer to the mic or turn it up or something, because it was just barely audible.
So why don't you pick it up from "you'd probably bake your own bread" all the way to the end?
You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. Was everybody able to hear that a little bit better?
A little bit.
Okay.
Your Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen, just all went, it was all run together. It's the sponsor. It's the one paying it, so let's give them their due. Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. But it came across as Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. They weren't billboarded. I think it needed to be a little bit more.
So honor the period a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, Rob, just give us a read of that very last line.
Carol's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Try
There,
it
that
with
was better.
All right. Oh yeah, we are.
Richard's happy.
If Richard's happy, we're all happy. Well, thank you. No, that was a really fantastic read. So let's go ahead and move on. Joe, blow us out of the water
Okay.
with one of your Joe reads.
No pressure, but we want one of your Joe reads. Okay.
Okay, I'll do. I was just thinking while other people were reading, sometimes I do a pattern break, and I like the pattern break more than my regular read, so I'll submit that.
I'm sure you do.
So let me do one of those on this one.
Go for it. Go for it.
Howdy, buckaroos. My name's Big Jim McBob. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? Natural woods, natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfast, lunches, dinners, made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Good night, everybody.
All right, go ahead and roll right into what you would consider a normal read.
Okay. If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? Natural woods, natural smiles, plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread, slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen. Better one or two?
I don't know. One was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
One was good.
Yeah.
I thought two was nice, warm, and fuzzy feeling. I thought that worked.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's your microphone.
Do you hear that too? It's falling out, breaking up. A
Yeah.
little bit.
One sounded like Marlon Perkins.
Yeah, I don't know if it's your mic itself or if it's your connection or wherever you're connecting from, but it sounds like you're dropping off the beginnings of parts of it.
Yeah, natural
that
words and natural smiles.
Words
That
and natural
chat,
smiles.
that read would sound so good with the 416 the Canadian fellow has. I think he has a nice. It's so it would be so warm.
That's you, Frank.
Canadian fellow. Ah.
Yeah, I'm on a tablet right now. So
okay.
I got a name, damn it.
That's
I got a name.
That's Frank.
Don't alienate our international friends, okay?
Frank. I don't need any
I
follow.
forgot his name. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Frank.
Frank.
Back at a me? You back at a me, David? Huh?
I think the last line was read like, because great meals begin in the kitchen. I mean, I didn't really hear much on the last line. Would that be in there?
You swallowed it too fast.
Yeah, it was either me or the mic. I blame
It
you.
could be the mic. Hey, that's what it was, Joe's the mic. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, it was the mic. Yeah.
Well, we'll just go with take one and be happy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, next up is Russ.
All right.
No pressure.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Other than being just a tad bit too quick, I think you really hit that warm and inviting feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only complaint that I've got is just a tad too fast.
All right.
That and the last line was, you really emphasized in, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
okay.
I personally like that. I didn't think it was a bad choice, but that's just me. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that
I'm gonna
connects
go back to
kitchen and
meat
kitchen, I
steak.
think.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Richard,
It
go to your
doesn't
corner.
quite match up.
That was an attempt to connect kitchen and kitchen.
Well, I thought it worked. And again, my only thing would be, just slow it down a little bit.
Cool. I'm good then. John?
John, you still there?
I'm here. Just forgot to unmute myself.
Ah, pulled a Richard.
If you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles. And plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
All right. Well, I noticed all the technique. No headphones, moving into zone one. No, it was good. I think the pacing was really good on that. And I think just generally the feel was also really, really warm and inviting. What did everybody else think?
It was warm and inviting, but it needed a smidge more enthusiasm.
Yeah, a little more energy, huh?
Yeah, just a little more energy, but the warm and inviting part, that was all there, but it was just kind of,
Sleepy?
we got a new restaurant.
It was pretty good energy for you, John.
Fast too, John.
Yeah.
I love the qualifier there. It's great.
Nice, Russ. It was pretty good for you.
Wow.
Oh, man.
We love you, Bob. Thank you for being here.
Well, I think that's kind of one of his weaknesses, to be honest with you. I mean, and he knows it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you had everything else, but just a little more. Be happy about it.
Yep. As I was reading, I know you're not supposed to critique yourself, but I'm like, am I going to put myself to sleep here?
All right. Well, then try it again. Try it again.
Wake us up.
Yeah, give us one more read and make it,
Stand up.
less sleepy.
Stand up.
Pattern break
there's a
over the
rearranged
top.
thing in here. This is a sit down booth, but
Oh,
Well, go ahead and give it to us again. Just go for it.
if you could create your own restaurant, what would it be like? Probably a warm and friendly place, right? With natural woods and natural smiles, and plenty of great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made with only the freshest ingredients. You'd probably bake your own bread and slow cook your recipes for tenderness and flavor. Welcome to your new restaurant, Caro's Kitchen, because great meals begin in the kitchen.
There we go.
not bad.
Much more
There
improved.
you go. That was
Much
better. It had
Much better.
warm with a little smile to it. Nicely done, John.
There was upspeak on ingredients big time, just to let you know.
I
But
mentally
for
kicked
John, I mean, he did really well.
Oh, John, it was a fantastic read. No, but seriously, like the read was
like we still have time for John.
no, the read was great. The read was really quite good. At least I thought so.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I guess that has wrapped us up. That's all of our readers. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Don't forget. Yeah, don't forget 5th of August. Right? It's the 5th? Yes, the 5th of August. That's when we're going to be having Danielle Quisenberry on with us, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I mean that, because she's preparing something real special specifically for us. So be there on July 29th if you want to be entered in for a drawing to be one of the readers working with her. I don't know how many yet, but if you're in, you'll get a chance. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Bye.
Join us every Monday for free script practice. You can also find the Mic Check on Facebook and Twitter. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more.
at this.